Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. It's Spider-Man tie-in review time. So I tried to figure out what I could do to tie into the Vulture finally getting on the big screen. I didn't want to do an episode based on the 90s cartoons because I'm doing those spider vlogs. So I wanted to focus on something different. So that being said, I decided I'm going to do the one Vulture related episode of the 1980s era. That being said, thank you for tuning in, and it's time to watch The Vulture Has Landed. Spider-Man! We begin with Spidey enjoying a day swinging when his Spidey sense warns him of the Vulture swooping and kidnapping a man off of his own balcony. You know, that guy's day was going really great, and then all you want to do is just ruin it by picking him up and flying away. You, sir, are a dick. Spider-Man tries to bring the Vulture down, but our villain just cuts the web, our hero landing in a tree. We learn from Jameson that the Vulture has been kidnapping scientists and that he wants Peter to talk to Harry Osborn, which Peter does not like.
They give us a good quote. You know, if it weren't for me, Harry Osborn would never have passed chemistry.
Well, it's more that I want to stay on the case so I can stop the Vulture, but still, Harry Osborn? Really? He's not smart enough to tie my spider boots. A couple of workers toss out Spidey's clothes sack, which ends up causing him to need to borrow clothes from Harry, which gets Pete mistaken for Harry.
And now that I've got all the data on your latest experiments, all I need is you, Harry Osborn, and my team of scientists is complete.
Wait a minute, I'm not Harry Joe!
You know, I'm not even going to listen to the person claiming he's not Harry Osborn. I'm just going to take him anyway, simply because he's wearing his clothes. Our villain brings Pete to his flying headquarters where he meets the other scientist. Vulture demands Pete to make Harry's invisible paint. When he says he has no idea how, Vulture's birds tie Pete up and threaten to drop him from the craft. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm still going to do it. Hopefully I don't die anyway. Peter mixes and successfully makes the paint, thus beginning to make the aircraft disappear. This gives our hero the idea of using it to turn himself invisible in order to take out the birds and change into Spidey. Of course, the birds break free, so Spidey drops the scientist with parachutes while...
And our furious feathered friends are trapped in here with me. Polly want a cracker?
Spidey, I do believe there's a small flaw in your plan. The Vulture comes back and Spidey magically gets trapped in a cage, and as Vulture taunts about his plans, Spidey is dropped from the aircraft.
Wait a minute! I forgot to tell you! Spiders can't fly!
No, but they do fall very fast. Spidey, of course, shoots a web line to save himself, the line attaching to a plane.
What are you doing?
A gremlin! Dead astern! I got work to do! Ain't gonna be interfered with by no optical illusion!
I've been called lots of things, but that's a first! Slow down, Ace! I'm scared of heights!
Like, fuck you mean that you're scared of heights? Spidey, you're drunk. The paper rips and Spidey makes a makeshift parachute.
Hey, I want that parachute ride!
No, you don't!
Stop doing my job, Spider-Man. After Jameson and Peter come with him to take pics of the rocket, he puts 2 and 2 together and we head to a ship awaiting the Jupiter probe, but only for the Vulture to paint it invisible.
The Jupiter probe! It's gone!
No, you don't say. Spidey uses a catapult in order to find Vulture's base, and our hero and villain begin to butt heads, tearing up the flyer, and Spidey gets the probe safely out of the craft. The fight goes outside.
I planned on a solo.
Fantastic. Sometimes the gods of spider luck are really funny.
Confound it! It's that gremlin again!
Hey, old guy, guess what? He's not a fucking gremlin. You dumb shit. Vulture tries to get away, but Spidey webs him up, hand-wrapping him for the cops. Our episode then ends with our hero making it back to the ship while JJ takes a dip in the water.
Parker!
Hey, nice shot, Peter. Thanks, Robbie. I always said we had a photogenic boss.
So there you have it. The Vulture has landed. I personally enjoy the 80 series simply because of how funny it actually is. And if you like that type of humor, I'd check out the show. That being said, join me next time as I look at an episode of a series I usually only do in May, but it's a special request. So that being said, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.